Just a quick interruption here on the regular programming as Hurricane Milton, is getting ready to make landfall in Florida, possibly as early as Wednesday. This is just a few days from now. I thought I would talk a little bit about power preparing for the hurricane. I know people know they need to have water and food and stuff that can survive, not being frozen or cold. Because if you lose power, that food could spoil. But I want to talk a little bit about power itself. In Florida, we're used to having power out, so I'm sure most people know it. But if you're new to Florida and don't know, you probably want to have spare power systems set up. I built a power pack, which I think is actually more powerful than these here. So if you want to learn how to do that, watch my video where I built the house battery for my new camper van Faith, and previous ones for Little Blue and stuff. But essentially it's a battery that has like different options that you can run like USB off it. Some of them have an inverter, so they'll run like 120 volts. Like I think these do 120, even this one. You can tell it does 120 when it has a regular house jack or house plug. These are like $109. This one doesn't. It only has USB, so you can charge your phone. But with this one here, it has a small inverter. So the inverter will take the 12 volt power that's from this thing and convert it to a 120 volts. So you could run like stuff like lights or a fan, at night. And you can also charge your phones. Now these things do need to be charged up, and typically you can charge them just by putting them on your car, on your battery in your car, turning it on and starting the car up. It'll actually charge the battery pack back up real fast. Otherwise they have an adapter that goes into a 120 volt power outlet, and you can plug that in. So these are highly recommended if you don't have anything right now and you need something right away. So it's $109 for this one, which is a 1200 amp, and it'll do 500 watts, which is actually enough to run the rice cooker, like a small 300 watt rice cooker. This one says this one goes up to 1500, and it's 165. Typically the larger the unit, the larger the battery inside, so it'll last longer. But you do need to try to keep these charged up, because if you let it run down, the battery will die and it'll be useless. You won't be able to use it. So I recommend, if you don't have any time to build a pack yourself, to watch my video and build one from RV, one of these marine batteries here. You can see this battery is like bigger than that pack. So I usually prefer to build my own, because it'll hold a lot more power, and that way you can just replace the battery easily, if you need to. But I found that the batteries last, like, even though they're rated for like 1 or 2 years, I've had mine for like 3-4 years and they're still fine. So I recommend building your own. But to build your own, you would need a battery, and then you would need a thing called an inverter. Let's see if they have some here. Here's a power inverter here. So they have one here that will do 1000 watts, one that'll do 750, and one that'll do 400, one that'll do 100. The 100 watt one is enough to run your lights, a couple lights in your house, for only 15 bucks. 400 watt one is 35 bucks. This is enough to run one rice cooker. And 750 is usually what I go with, which is enough to run the rice cooker or maybe a power tool. If you want to go a little bit higher, there's a $200 one. It's a 1000 watt inverter. Actually, it's the same one. Yeah, Everstart. So they have a different brand here, Heart, whatever that is, but that's sold out. So this one's $94, 100 bucks. I recommend a good size one is 750. And how they work is you plug the red of this inverter to the red on the battery, and then you plug the black to the black, and it'll convert this 12 volt battery to run 120 volt appliances. And on these models, you can see they also have USB on them at 3.1 amps, so you could charge your phones and stuff. So, if you didn't want to buy one of these pre-made packs, which you can carry in your car, that's just a lot more convenient, you could make one. You can make Because these, usually the inverter, the power inverter on it is usually about 150 watts. They're usually pretty small. They're not meant for running like a rice cooker or something like that. But they have stuff like a air compressor for your tire, and the ability to jump your car in an emergency. But even with these, you could jump your car. But if you want to learn how to make one yourself, watch my videos. If you want to buy one that's pre-made, which I don't think is as good, you can get one of these for roughly between $100 to $165. Making one yourself, I would recommend at least 750 watts, which is going to be $56 if you're buying it off the shelf, plus about $100 for a battery, so about $160. Roughly the same cost, just more powerful. That's at the very basic level. Also, they sell it on another rack, but you can get the 12 volt cigarette lighter stuff that plugs to the battery. So red goes to red, black goes to black, and that'll give you 12 volt output. So you can run 12 volt appliances and whatnot. But if you're just trying to make an emergency pack for your house for use, you don't really need 12 volts. You need 120 volts, and you need USB. So it's just my quick tip, because time is short, and if you don't have the setup right now, like you don't have a generator, a gas generator or something, this will at least give you some power. It's not enough to run your refrigerator or anything like that, or even air conditioning, as it's so small. But it's enough to run like lights, maybe for a couple days or nights, maybe a fan to keep you, cool at night if you're living in Florida. Also, these all can be recharged by hooking it up to your car, your car battery, red to red, black to black, starting that thing up, turning the system on, and letting the battery charge. That way you at least have a power pack, like an external battery pack that you can use. Now, if you go fancy like me, you could buy a battery case and put everything in and make it self-contained and, look similar to these. But if you don't, you just need a battery and an inverter, and you should be all set. So good luck, everyone. Thinking of each and every one of you that are in the path of Milton. I've been thinking of all the people that got devastated by Helene. We were fortunate last time on the Space Coast. Milton is supposedly going to make landfall around Tampa, which is on the opposite coast, but then go like pretty much straight across. So we're going to be in its path, unless it changes again, But anyone that's nearby where Milton can go, I do recommend having a power pack. Please stay safe. God bless you all. I'm thinking of each and every one of you.